Airline industry is the lifeblood of the tourism industry. After the first COVID-19 patient was reported from the world, so many things happened and it made some huge changes on the tourism industry. The COVID-19 made a big blow to the global airline industry, Sri Lankan Airlines, as well as most of the leading airlines in the world. Due to the same reason, the international passenger movement has come to a screeching halt that made a negative impact on air passenger transportation, air cargo demand, airport and aviation workplaces and different other incoming sources. Because of the COVID-19 situation, airline passengers have to face several health and safety risks during their journeys. So, today we are interviewing an expert from the one of the leading airline in the world, a proud product of the Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Rajarata University, to discuss about the key challenges and opportunities for global airline sector during the post-COVID-19 revival phase. He is Mr. Surangal Akmal Bandaran. He has earned years of experience by working at a leading travel agency in Sri Lanka, and now he is working as a senior customer service agent at one of the leading airlines in the world. Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and participating in this short documentary. The world airline industry is now paralyzed without seeing green lights to expand its wings. Sir, could you please briefly educate us what is the present state of the global airline industry?
Hi, good morning. Hironi, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me for this documentary video program. This is related to COVID-19, how it will impact to the aviation industry, airlines. Yes, as you mentioned before, due to this COVID-19 crisis, it's hardly affect to the aviation industry. This is one of the major industry got affected due to this crisis. When it comes to the airline, it will link with the three industries: hospitality, travel, tourism. All of these industries are linked together. When I talk about the airline industry, yes, I'll give you some data. I get it from IATA, International Air Transport Association. Because of this COVID-19 virus, flight cancellation up to 30th June, 4.5 million flights has been cancelled, and expected revenue loss is 314 billion US dollars. It's a huge amount. This is how COVID-19 got affected to airline industry. This is a global revenue loss, and compared with 2019, 55% of customers, they have canceled their bookings, and the revenue went down almost 55%. So it's really hard hit to the industry. Yes, that's the present situation. But there is a green light. But now, even though the crisis is going on, there's no vaccination, no cure. But still, governments, they're taking actions, they're going forward, and gradually they're gonna live with this virus and gonna open airports one by one. The green light is till 1st of August. 72 airports are planning to open, so business will improve gradually. That's a good news for the industry. But current situation is what I said. It's a really hard hit for aviation. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The next thing is, operating an airline is not an easy task, provided the cost of an aircraft is extremely high. With the COVID-19 outbreak, many major airlines in the world, including Virgin Australia, South African Airways, Eurowings, which are major airlines, have filed for bankruptcy. So, does this affect only the large scale airlines only? What will happen to the small and medium sized airlines?
Yes, regardless, the airline is large, medium, or small, each and every airlines got affected. When it comes to large scale of airlines, yes, they have a lot of investment, and then their operation cost is very high, and their fleet is very high. They have to pay for the fleets. They have ordered some aircraft from the companies. So that is the major hit to the large scale of airlines. But then again, medium and a small scale, uh, they also got affected because, as I can see, some of the airlines, small airlines, they have rented some aircraft from outsource, so they need to pay the rent plus the service charges, repayments. If they're getting delayed, then they have to pay penalties. Uh, it's depend on their contracts between the companies. So it's really hard for small and medium scale of airline industries as well. Yes.
Okay, sir. And we know that aircrafts are very sensitive and high tech vessel. No matter you fly it or not, you cannot cut down its maintenance, which is costly, not to mention the salaries and other fixed expenses. And I also wish to quote, every dark cloud has a silver lining. At this onset, what alternative strategies emerge for the airline to generate some extra income?
Yes, I would say instead of extra income, I would say we will use the word to earn revenue, at least to cover their expenses, operation costs. Uh, some of the airlines, they are not some of, like each and every airlines, they have to find their own way to handle it, tackle it. So most of the airlines, they have think about differently. Uh, I would say first, I'll mention one by one. So some of the airlines, they are increase their cargo flights. They are into cargo operation because the demand is for cargo. It's very high right now because countries, they need to deliver medical stuff, medical aid, plus food and beverage to the other countries. So cargo demand is very high right now. Some of the airlines, they have converted passenger aircraft into cargo aircraft with certain conditions. So they have think about the cargo side instead of passengers. Uh, and again, the second one I can point it out, the flights, charter flights, especially for repatriation. Customers got stuck in other countries because of the borders are closed due to the pandemic. So airlines, they are closely working with governments to get these customers repats to their origin destination. So they are operating a particular flight from destination to the destination, one point to another origin destination, as a charter flight. So this also one of the income for the moments airline is thinking about.
Okay, sir. Some parties complain that international travel speeded up the spread of COVID 19 around the world. On the other hand, flying has become a necessity these days. Amidst the health risk of flying, what new standards and regulations are the aviation industries are going to introduce to protect both passengers and the staff? Or simply, how can we stop aircrafts carrying communicable diseases?
Yes, as you all can understand, aware of the nature of the sickness, it's transmitting people to people. So you have to think about in that way. The airlines are thinking about that way, and they are trying to avoid this transmitting the virus from one to another one. So they have taken actions already because still passengers are traveling. 20% of aircraft are still operating. they have taken measures, this PCR test to be done before you board the aircraft, before you get into the airport. You should have a health certificate with you. These are the requirements from some governments plus the airlines as well. And the face masks, gloves, sanitizers, and face shields. These are mandatory for travelers these days. Those are the precaution measures as per WHO. You need to have this medical stuff with you. And again, from the airline side of the aircraft, they are disinfecting all the aircraft, sanitizing them, and the cabin crew also, they are well prepared for this situation. They have their own PPE, the equipments, medical equipment with them to tackle it. And again, these days, the demand for the air travel is very less. The seating arrangement, some of the airlines, they have done it in a good way. The seating arrangement for customers, when it comes to social distancing, yes, they have keep one seat empty next to the one customer, so between two customers. So at least you can maintain the social distancing. But when it comes to business from the airline side, this is not going to help the revenue side. But right now they are doing it. But moving forward, you will have a lot of things are coming in to dealing with the virus.
Okay, sir. Usually, an airline operates to dozens of countries and hundreds of destinations prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. Will the post-COVID-19 flying will be the same, or will there be any changes about the number of destinations?
Yeah, of course. The number of destination pre-COVID-19, it will not gonna be the same for sure, because frequencies will be lesser than before. The countries, they have still restrictions are there, and they might travel like, because some countries we have different destination. For example, if you get America, you have a lot of destinations. So instead of going to each and every destination, airlines probably will go to small like amount of destination, few destination, because of the less demand. I don't think it will go to each and every destination what we have before the crisis. So it will be less for sure.
Okay, sir. An airline usually employs thousands of employees for its day-to-day operations. The present COVID-19 outbreak has made the airlines to lay off their employees by a sizable percentage. So, what can we do these unemployed airline workers? Or are there any other alternative industries that we can employ these employees effectively?
Yes, when it comes to cost, each and every airline, they have taken some measurements, actions to cover it up, the operation costs. So this is one of them. I would say it's depend on the area you are working. When it comes to aviation industry, you have aircraft technicians, flight deck crew, cabin crew, ground service, ground staff. So these departments are specific. These staff are doing a specific job. When you resign, when you go out from the industry, it's difficult to find a job, the same kind of job out of the industry. But for the meantime, I would say the people, they have to think about out of the box, and you have to develop the other side of your skill, I would say, because airline, hospitality, tourism, these are links, as I mentioned earlier. So all of these three industries are affected. If you go out from the airline industry, you will not be able to find a job out from the other industries. So you'll have to think in a different way right now. You have to think about different side of your skills. So that's how we have to overcome the situation.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think we discussed many challenges and opportunities lie ahead of the global airline industry with Mr. Surangal Akmal. So let me thank you again for your kind contribution for our academic career. Thank you, sir.
All right, it's my pleasure. All right, thank you very much. All the best.